Hello, everyone. It's great to see you again with the Dhamma Talks with me, Ayya Khemavamsi from Mahārāhulovāda from Thailand. Before we start, let's pay homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu. Today we will discuss in the topic of the instruction of the Buddhas. Okay, and also today we have 4 sutra that we're gonna compile into one session. So now I'm trying to post all the links for you so you can learn about this in the future after we finish this Dhamma session. Okay, I think an error occurred, so please tell me if you don't have like 4 links. Hello, Yankee Apple. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Richard. Hello, Gregory, Pumika, and Nico. Okay, let's start. If we talk about Dhamma learner, good morning. Yes, actually, this place is, actually we used this place before, like the like from the start. I think we used this place. This is not in the Mahāvana, but the place that is close to Mahāvana is the place of the lay people. Actually, this is the place of the lay people, but like now in Thailand, it's especially in the north, in Lampang province, it's very, very hot. It's like 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and I cannot work. The computer is like overheat. I cannot work in the temple because it's too hot and we don't have the AC. We just have only the fan, which is like overheat for the computer. So today I have to move to another place in order to work on the PowerPoint, and then so we're gonna use this place, the place next to the Mahāvana. Okay, thank you, Richard. Hello, Maria. 3 links now, but I think I post another one. So also in the PowerPoint you can see the number of the sutra, so maybe you can search for them later. Okay, let's start. When we talk about the instructions of the Buddhas, actually we can learn it from the Ovatapatimokkha. Ovatapatimokkha is when there is the great assembly of the bhikkhu, of the monks, bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, and then the Buddha taught like the core teachings of all the Buddhas, because you can see here there's the use of the plural forms of Buddha. So it's not just only the Gautama Buddha, the present Buddha here, no, but all the Buddhas from the previous time until nowadays. All the Buddha, all the enlightened one teach the same, and this is the instruction. As I can say, you can search in the long discourse, like in the previous era of the Buddhas, like Vipassī Buddhas. I have attached the link for the Vipassi Buddha or Kotama Buddha or like previous Buddha. They have the same instruction. Or you can see in the heartfelt saying Uttana number 4.6 what the Buddhas taught us here. Patient acceptance is the ultimate fervor. Extinguishment is the ultimate, say the Buddhas. No true renunciate injures another, nor does an ascetic hurt another. Not to do any evil, to embrace the good, to purify one's mind. This is the instruction of the Buddhas. Not speaking ill nor doing harm, restraint in the monastic code, moderation in eating, staying in remote lodgings, commitment to the higher mind. This is the instruction of the Buddhas. So here is just only we can divide into like 3. Yeah, if you like this is called Ovata Patimokkha, right? Ovata Patimokkha. It is what the monk, the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, the monastic have to, I don't know in Western countries, but in Thailand we have to chant. We have to talk about this every 15 days. When we do uposatha, when we do the patimokkha, for the monastic codes for the monastic. Khanti palamang tapoti tikha. This is about the endurance. Nippanang palamang vatanti puttha. Nahi papashito parupakati. Samano hoti parang vihetayanto. Saphapapasa akaranang kusalasu pasampatha. Sachita pariyo tapanang etang puttana sasanang. Anupawato anupakhato patimokhe ja sangwaro mattan yuta ja phatassaming pantan ja sayanasanang Atichitte ja ayoho etang puttana sasanang ti. So this is what we have to like recite over and over, and also every 15 days. So this is just like the teachings that all the Buddhas will say when they have the great assembly. For our Buddha, Gautama Sakyaputta, right? He taught this for the how many? 1,250 bhikkhu who gather together, and then he talked about this. Okay, so we're gonna learn bit by bit. The first one we start with patient acceptance is the ultimate fervor. Here is another translation, but for actually in Pali, Khanti Palamang, Khanti, hang on, Khanti Palamang Tapoti Tikha. Khanti Paramang Tapoti Tikha. They use the word Khanti. Khanti here you can translate as patience or endurance or grit, or the courage and determination despite difficulties is the grit, right? So Khanti Palamang is ultimate. Tapo is like they use the word tapo as like a burning. Actually one translation is like a fire. So Khanti Palamang Tapoti Tikha, it can means like the endurance, the grit is the ultimate burning, ultimate thing that can burn all the defilements. You know what I mean? So, in the life of monastic, when you want to become the monastic, It's not just to, shave the hair and then do the arms round and then meditate all day. It's not like that. It's not that an easy life. It's not an easy life. It needs endurance. You need the strength to overcome difficulties. When you become the monastic, there's a lot of difficulty, not just, to meditate or to, like clean the monastery. It's not like that. There's many more of the obstacle, of the difficulty, just like the lay people, but different aspect. So not only like the difficulties when we encounter with like people who don't have faith, for example, or difficulty when we go arms round in some regions, in some places, difficulty when we have to deal with, like many things in monastic life, but difficulty in, get rid of the unwholesome qualities and cultivate wholesome qualities, that we have to, practice more and more. And the Buddha said, you need endurance, you need patience, you need grit to overcome the difficulties. You need the strength mentally to follow the path. In some discourse, in some sutta, the Buddha even, um, say that some people practice, follow the Noble Eightfold Path with the crying face. Even though you cry, even though you feel like, oh, maybe I should disrobe or something like that, but you have to endure. You have to endure the heat, the cold, the hunger, the thirst. You have to endure, like, because we don't have the comfortable life that we used to have. For example, like here, like 104 Fahrenheit, and we have to use only fan, something like that. We don't have AC, so we have to endure the heat. We have to use the wisdom to, like end the suffering, something like that. Mhm. So the first one, the teaching of all the Buddhas, Khanti Palamang Tapo Tikha, patience, endurance, or grit, is the ultimate fervor. Is the ultimate thing that can burn defilements, can burn hatred, greed, and delusion. You need patience, you need endurance. This is the first one. Second one, Nippanang Palamang Vadhanti Puttha. Nippanang Palamang, this is only Nippanang Palamang. Nirvana is the ultimate. Vadhanti Puttha is the Buddha talk like this. So here is the translation. Extinguishment is the ultimate, says the Buddhas. Nippanang Palamang Vadhanti Puttha. Vadhanti Puttha is say the Buddhas. But what does it mean? Extinguishment is the ultimate, or like another translation. Nippanang Palamang. Nirvana is the ultimate. Nibbana is the ultimate. Nibbana actually means to cool. So Puddhatat, Bhikkhu, Puddhatasa Bhikkhu, like the very revered and renowned monk in Thailand, but he passed away a long time ago. He said just, Nibbana is it's not that hard to translate. Actually, it's about to be cool down. If you can be cool and calm inside, that is another state of nirvana. It's not that complicated. Cool or extinguish defilements. Cool and extinguish greed, hate, and delusion. Or Nibbana, another translation, another interpretation is the true liberation. Vimutti. Vimutti is the liberation. So there are many names, many synonyms for the Nibbana. Vimutti, liberation. Vimokha, like a liberation as well. Or Khema, Khema mean happiness. So the Buddha said one time, Nibbana paramang sukhang. Nibbana is the utmost happiness, the supreme happiness. So here the Buddha said, Nirvana is the ultimate. In what aspect? You can interpret like Nirvana is like the ultimate goal. Nirvana is the ultimate destination. All the monastic and all the people who come to seek the truth, to seek the end of suffering, the end of suffering is Nirvana. So this is like the ultimate goal for us. When we come here, like for me, when we enter into the monastic life, what we seek for is the Nirvana, end of suffering, extinguish defilements, extinguish greed, hate, delusion. We can experience the true liberation, true awareness, enlightenment, or to be cool. And this is the second one. Hi Jim McCarty, hi Stevie, hi Shayanta, hi Alisa, hi Maria. Okay, the third one, and I just want to explain bit by bit. No true renunciate injures another, nor does an ascetic hurt another. Actually, this is conjunct with another phrase here, but I'm gonna talk this one first. The true renunciate injures no true renunciate injures another, nor does any ascetic hurt another. So if you regard yourself as renunciate, as ascetic, so you don't injure, don't hurt another, not just only another person, another people, but don't injure or hurt yourself as well. Sometimes we don't do harm to another person, but you harm yourself. That is not what the Buddha taught. As the Buddha, before he got enlightened, he tried to search, the way to end the suffering, right? Tukkala Kiriya. He did like the the thing to torture himself, as what the Brahma, at that time, like the hermit and people at that era did. Like you have to torture yourself, you have to endure a lot of like self inflicted pain or something. So that is not the way to the end of suffering. But when you spoil yourself, just as when the Buddha was the king, was the prince, and then he got spoiled, that is not the way to end the suffering as well. So it means like you don't spoil yourself, but you don't torture or harm yourself, as well as don't harm other people. If you still harm other people or harm another living creature, then you don't call yourself renunciate. Then you don't call yourself an ascetic. Next, not to do any evil, to embrace the good, to purify one's mind. This is the teachings of the Buddhas. So when we look at the Buddha's teachings, when we listen to the Buddha's teachings, a lot of the Buddha teachings, you can see like the Buddha talk about, okay, if you want to summarize, not to do any evil. If you know that that is the evil thing, that is unwholesome deeds or actions, don't do it. Embrace the good. If you don't do the evil things, you do the good things. Do the opposite, right? And to purify the mind. Because sometimes people don't do bad things, They do good things, they do merit, they go to temples, they meditate, they donate, but they still cling on to the good deeds that is my good actions. This is my donation. This is my practice. And I, practice way better than you or something like that. So still have defilements, right? Kilesa within you and occur within you. You still have the notion of self. You still have the conceit, have the comparison. Mana is one of the kilesa that I'm better than you lower than me or something like that. So not to do unwholesome deeds. Do wholesome deeds. Embrace the good and purify the mind. Purify the mind, rid of the defilements, rid of the unwholesome qualities, and improve um, the quality of the mind. Next, not speaking ill nor doing harm, restraint in the monastic code, and moderation in eating, staying in the remote lodging, commitment to the higher mind. If we now I'm highlighting only the not speaking ill nor doing harm. Doing harm is just like the previous thing, right? Not doing any evil to embrace the good. Here the Buddha said, not speaking ill. Now he mentioned about the speech. Not doing harm. Don't do harm to others. Restraint in the monastic code, commitment to the higher mind. This is the instruction of the Buddha. So if you see here these statements, we think of the sila or precepts, or the monastic codes, or the like monastic code that we have to do. So the sila is about speech and action. It's something, if you keep the precept, that means you restrain the speech and action. For example, the 5 precepts. I have the intention to not kill, not steal, not sexual misconduct, not tell a lie, and then not consume alcoholic beverages. So you can see it's about speech, number 4, and about the action: kill, steal, sexual misconduct, and drink alcoholic beverages. So the sila is about to restrain the action, physical action, and verbal action. So not speech and action, but speech and body action. But about the commitment to the higher mind is what we call bhavana. Bhavana, that we have to restrain the mind. Bhavana, for example, um, bhavana actually is in Pali language, right? It means development. It means improvement. That you have to develop the mind. For example, when you meditate, it is regarded as bhavana. Meditate loving kindness is to bhavana metta. Meditate the mindfulness is to bhavana or develop mindfulness. So if we, try to, think of it as, here, I don't know in Western country, but in Thailand, if we teach the lay people, like someone who's still like new to the Buddha's teaching, we're gonna teach Dana, Sila, Bhavana, Than, Seen, Bhavana. This is in Thai accent. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Dana means giving. Learn to give. Learn to give because it's the easiest way to do. Learn to give. Giving is one of the punya kiliya wattu. It means you do the merit, you do the good things. Sila is mean when you restrain the verbal action and the body action, speech and body. When you do the bhavana, it means you train the mind. Yeah, the word train the mind. You develop the mind, cultivate wholesome qualities within the mind. So for lay people, with the first start in Buddhism, we teach dana, sila, bhavana. But if they have, like level up, we teach the teachings of the Buddha, the Noble Eightfold Path, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, precepts or monastic codes, Samadhi, meditation or concentration, Panya, wisdom and insight, which is called the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, the Noble Eightfold Path, you have right view, right thought, misspell, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. But you can, sum up into three main categories: sila, samadhi, and panya or wisdom. Right view and right thought is considered wisdom. So the first one, the wisdom comes first, the right view comes first. If you have the right view, the right mindset, the right, belief, then you're gonna have the right thought, and then right speech, and then right action, and then you live with the right livelihood. When you live, you have the right speech and right action. So right speech, right action, right livelihood is considered sila or precept or the monastic code for the monastic. And right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration is considered samadhi or concentration or meditation. It's like bhavana, to cultivate the wholesome qualities, like to train the mind. When you train the mind to be mindful with the right effort, and then you get the right concentration. Back a little bit. Meditation and concentration. This is the word, the translation for the samadhi. But actually, samadhi in Pali language means one-pointedness of mind, undisturbed mind. When you have the one-pointedness of mind, like a laser focus, one-pointedness of mind, that means samadhi. If the mind like this, like a monkey mind, it's not samadhi. But when you can focus only one point, that is called samadhi. Samadhi is just one pointedness of mind, but yeah, people can, or maybe, yeah, unification of mind. I think that's one translation. But the famous one, like the mostly used translation is the meditation or concentration. What's the difference? Meditation, maybe you can think of it as a method. If you want to have the one-pointedness of mind or the concentration, when you concentrate on something, when you focus on something, until you get the one-pointedness of mind, how to reach that? Meditation. Meditate. You meditate with whether sitting meditation, walking meditation, to reach to be able to concentrate, really concentrate, focus until you get the concentration or one-pointedness of mind. That is the samadhi. Yeah. So, yeah. If we, if we, if, this is like not speaking ill, right speech, not doing harm, right action, restrain the monastic code, right action, commitment to the higher mind. This is like the the pavana or samadhi, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, things like this. This is the instruction of the Buddha. So, just only like a brief teachings of the Buddha, but we can elaborate, we can, expand more and then learn more about it. Next, moderation in eating and staying in remote lodgings. This is what we should do, what we should practice. If you now, okay, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right concentration, right effort, right kanti is right, the patience, the right effort as well, the right concentration, okay. But on the path, you know, we have to practice, we have to keep in mind that you have to be moderation, you have to um, embrace the moderation in eating and staying in remote lodgings. It's beneficial for you when you want to practice. The first one, moderation in eating. This is from Apaṇṇaka sutta. Um, there are many, I think there are two names. Apaṇṇaka Patipatha. Patipatha means the way of life. That is Apaṇṇaka. So if you come to Thailand, we're going to use the word Apaṇṇaka Patipatha. But here in the name of the sutra, Apaṇṇaka Sutra, Anguttara Nikaya, AN 3.16, the Buddha said, possessing three qualities, a bhikkhu is practicing the unmistaken way and has laid the groundwork for the destruction of the tents. Here, the Buddha said, the groundwork. So yeah, we can mix with the previous teaching, like, okay, the Noble Eightfold Path, right, is in here, and the groundwork in order to reach, in order to, successfully follow the Noble Eightfold Path is to, one of the things is to have moderation in eating. But here the Buddha said three qualities that if you want to lead the unmistaken way and has laid the groundwork for the destruction of all defilements, you have to have these three. What are they? The first one, guard the doors of the sense faculties. The sense faculties, the door, what are the door? Here, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This is what we call doors to the sense faculties. You can maybe six doors, six internal doors, or six sense base. There are many translations. Or ayatana, this is the sense door. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. The first one you have to guard. Insiya sangbara. Intriya sangbara, you have to guard. Guard eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Why? What is the benefit of guarding these six sense doors? Why? For example, if you know that if you guard the eye, not to see what you're not supposed to see, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is like the for example, I cannot think of, like another example. I can only think now, I can only think of, for the monastic, we have to go arms round, right? Before we go out of the temple of the monastery to go arms round in the village, we have to guard the eye, the ear, you know, like what? Like we cannot, walk and then we cannot go and see around like this. We have to, guard the eyes, for example, to look down in front of you, but not that far. Just look down like this and then walk. Why? Because in the past, as stated in the sutra, in the Buddha, even in the Buddha era, when the monk go arms round and then look at people's house, going to the village and see, oh, the young lady, she's so beautiful. Oh, I think I want to disrobe because, that daughter of that house, the daughter of that house is so beautiful. I want to disrobe because I want to marry that girl, something like that. So it's the danger when you don't guard the eyes or the ears, because as I think as written in the Dhammapada, the Buddha said the sound of the lady is something that is like the danger of the bhikkhu. The bhikkhu should not come near the lady, and with the sound of the lady you can, you have to, calm the mind with the sound of the lady. You can say how to guard sense door and also be mindful. So when you see with the eyes, right? When you see, if you cannot, in Pali they use the word sangwala. Sangwala is mean like you have to be careful. For the monastic, you guard the eyes with, like not looking around. For the forest monk in Thailand, when they do the talking, the Dhamma talking, they have to close, they have to do like this. In some temple, they have to do like this. Don't look straight to the lay people eyes. You're not supposed to do that because sometimes like lady come and listen to the Dhamma talk, something like that. But, we cannot, guard the eyes like that forever, right? We have to talk, we have to see things around, but how to be mindful with this thing? That okay, I can see, and then be mindful that whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, I'm not, the mind not gonna, is not gonna sway like greed or hate. So be like equanimity. When you see, don't, switch to I want that or I don't want that. Just try to be mindful, like, okay, this is just the form. Okay, this is just the feeling. Okay, this is just the lady. And then try to train the mind, which I'm gonna talk later, how to train to have the higher mind later. Yeah, but the first one, to guard the door. Whether you see, smell, hear, taste, or sense, you have to be mindful that, okay, impermanence, okay, it's not gonna last forever, okay, this is not the self, okay, this is the danger, I should get rid of it, or something like that. That is the first one. The second one, observe moderation in eating. What is that? You should know the quantity, like don't eat too much, because if you eat too much, you're gonna, be sleepy. Once you finish eating, then you have to sleep, and then you're gonna, waste like 2 or 3 hours of sleep because you eat too much or something like that. Or when you eat too much and then you don't want to work or something like that. So, but if you eat less or too little, then you don't have strength to practice, you don't have strength to do the thing that you should do. And number 3 is intent on wakefulness. This is like the 3 quality that if you practice, it's gonna lead. It's gonna lead you to the groundwork for the destruction of defilements, right? observe moderation in eating and its intent on wakefulness is just like linked to each other. Here, another explanation. How does a bhikkhu observe moderation in eating? Here, reflecting carefully, a bhikkhu consumes food neither for amusement, nor for intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness. For example, if you eat this, you're gonna have, for example, if you eat like um, what the protein that like you eat when you have to do like personal trainer in order to build the muscle, something like that. If you eat with the intent to build the muscle, to be handsome, to look good, that is not the moderation in eating. But you eat, you know, okay, but only for the support and maintenance of this body. I still need this body to function well, to practice, to reach the nirvana this life. I don't want to torture this life and then sick all the time and cannot meditate or cannot practice, something like that. Avoid harm and for assisting the spiritual life. Considering thus, I shall terminate the old feeling, the hunger, and not arouse a new feeling, the new hunger. And I shall be healthy and blameless and dwell at ease. It is in this way that a bhikkhu observes moderation in eating. This is what we should contemplate before each meal. For the bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, we have to contemplate this before each meal. And also in the Vinaya, the code of monastic discipline, it is stated that a monk should know moderation. They should be mindful of their consumption of material goods, both in terms of accepting them and using them. Moderation with the another explanation described in Vinaya. We have to be mindful in the consumption, both in terms of accepting and using. Moderation in accepting goods. A monk should accept offerings from lay people, whether they are small or large, with kindness and gratitude. You cannot choose that, oh, this is just like too little. I want more. You cannot say that. Oh, this is too cheap. I want something expensive. You cannot say that. Oh, I don't want this brand. I want another brand. No, you cannot say that. You have to accept whatever the lay people give you with kindness and gratitude. When accepting larger offerings, a monk should only take what is necessary for their basic needs. If it's too much, like in the temple, there are only like two bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. You cannot, accept too much. Just like, okay, maybe I accept all and give the blessing, and then can I, share this offering to my monastic friend, to the monastic friend in the nearby monastery? Can I do that? Okay, I'm gonna share something like that. Okay, take what is necessary for the basic needs such as clothing and food. They should not be greedy or accumulate possession and unnecessarily. Moderation in using goods. A monk should use their possessions with care and consideration. They should use their robes to protect themselves from the elements and to maintain a sense of modesty. They should eat their meals mindfully, consuming only what they need to sustain themselves. They should use their sleeping quarter for rest and meditation, not for indulgence or entertainment. You know, for the monastic, if we use thing that the lay people give us without care, that is the apathy, that's a fault. Mm. Then you can be blamed, something like that. Benefit of moderation. By practicing moderation, a monk can avoid the pitfalls of greed and attachment. They can live a simple and contented life free from the burdens of material possessions. This, in turn, allows them to focus on their spiritual practice and cultivate the qualities of wisdom, compassion, and equanimity. Mhm. When you have too much, then it's like a burden. Or this thing I have to take care, this thing like, or maybe this room is too small, then I have to move to the larger place, and this is not the life of the monastic people that the Buddha taught us to live. Okay, now we move to stay in the remote lodging. This is from the middle discourse number 39. What more is there to do? This, in the middle course is like the lengthy one, but I only, we talk about the secluded lodging, so we're gonna talk about this only. Take a mendicant who frequents the secluded lodging. What is it? A wilderness, the root of a tree, a hill, a ravine, a mountain cave, a shallow ground, a forest, the open air, a heap of straw. This is like the secluded with um, little noise. After the meal, they return from arms round, sit down cross-legged, set their bodies straight, and establish mindfulness in front of them. Okay. So the Buddha said, when you finish arms round, now practice. Giving up covetousness for the world, meditate with the heart rid of covetousness, cleansing the mind of covetousness, kamashanta. Giving up ill will and malevolence, they meditate with a mind rid of ill will, full of compassion for all living beings, cleansing the mind of ill will. Giving up dullness and drowsiness, they meditate with a mind rid of dullness and drowsiness, perceiving light, mindful and aware, cleansing the mind of dullness and drowsiness. Giving up restlessness and remorse, they meditate without restlessness, the mind peaceful inside, cleansing the mind of restlessness and remorse. Giving up doubt, they meditate having gone beyond doubt, not undecided about skillful qualities, cleansing the mind of doubt. So here is to seclude, but the word seclude lodging, not just to stay alone in the forest. That is called Kaya Vivek. You have the physical seclusion. You seclude yourself from people. Try to stay alone. But now you cannot go to, as a bhikkhuni, we cannot go into the wilderness, go to the forest and then stay alone. We cannot do that as the monastic code. But we can stay in the monastery, stay alone in the room, and then practice. That is called Kaya Vivek, physical seclusion. But here, the Buddha said, not just to stay alone, but you have to have the citta viveka. You have to seclude the mind from the five things, five hindrances. Five hindrances, kamashanta, covetousness, payapata, ill will, and what else? Vichikiccha, doubt, and dullness, drowsiness, and the remorse, things like that. You know, not only the seclusion in terms of physical, but mental as well. Okay. Now, last one, commitment to the higher mind. Commitment to the higher mind is mean just like to train the mind higher and higher. Like if now you have like if now you have like the remorse and you have still have the five hindrances, you get rid of five hindrances and then reach the first jhana, Once you reach the first jhana, maybe second jhana, not second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, something like that. Higher and higher. Get rid of the defilements more and more. That means purifying the mind. So purify the mind and commitment to the higher mind is just like, related. To talk about commitment to the higher mind as to answer Tan, right? How to be mindful, to guard the sense, be mindful, and then to train the mind. You can learn from the sutra called Advice to Rahula, Middle Discourse, number 62, MD 62. The Buddha said, develop mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it's very fruitful and beneficial. This should be truly seen with the right understanding like this. This is not I am not this is not myself. When you truly see with the right understanding, you reject whatever you cling on to. You detach the mind from whatever you cling on to. So how to cultivate the higher mind? Okay, bhavana. Bhavana should develop. You can develop the mindfulness, you can develop the loving kindness, you can develop the compassion with many things that the Buddha taught us. We can train the mind with that. Okay? But the point that we train the mind is to truly see for yourself that, okay, this is not mine, this is not self, this is not my feeling, this is not my thought, this is not my body. If you can get rid of the notion of the self, that is the right track. You know, today you have to ask yourself, like today when we practice, when we meditate, normally when we do the retreat, maybe for example, I don't know in the Western country, now I'm going to talk about, in Thailand aspect only. Some people, when they learn to meditate, they go for the retreat, and then the teacher said like, okay, tell me, maybe you get stuck in some stages, you know what I mean? Just tell me what you experienced today. That is just only question. You can say like, okay, I experienced this. Okay, I don't have any experiences. Okay, I have a lot of thought. I have monkey mind. Things like that. Monkey mind occur. Maybe painful feelings occur. Many thoughts occur. You can just say that. But nowadays, what we've been observed is just like, if I answer this to my master, he gonna think like I don't develop, I don't improve, I still have the feelings, I cannot, overcome this feeling. I got stuck in the same stage. This is not good for me. I should progress. I want my teacher to see that I have the progress or something like that. So you practice so hard, practice with greed inside. I want my teacher to praise me. I want my teacher to see my improvement or something like that. And you don't see yourself that is the desire, that is the greed. That is not the right track. The more you practice, the more desire you have. But you don't see yourself like that. And that is not the right concentration. You won't get it because the greed obstruct the mind. Or some people you know can sit and then, oh, this is so good, oh, this is the the right concentration. I think I think I reached the shana. I think I reached the the heaven or something like that, and then get stuck with that. And then you have I can meditate. I have this state. I have blah blah blah, such and such. That is not the right track as well, because you still have I have this quality. The point, the goal here, the Buddha said, develop mindfulness of breathing. But if you can see with the right understanding like that, oh, this is not mine. This is not my feeling. This is not my thought. It just come and go, arise and cease with many factors. I cannot control it. There is no I, there is no me, there is not myself, anatta. So the point of meditation is to, when you reach the one potentness of mind, then you see the feeling arise and cease, thought arise and cease, things arise and fade away. There is no you. So if you can reach this, if you can, if you see this with the right understanding, that is the right track. Mm. And once you see it, you're gonna reject, you're gonna detach the mind from things that you cling onto. Oh, this is myself, this is my um what is it in this is my mind. My mind gonna be stable, my mind gonna be good, my mind gonna have the wholesome quality, something like that. That is not. Yeah, the more you practice, the less self you have. This you should contemplate. The more you practice, the less suffering you have in life, the less um, attachment you have in life. But you can work, you can have the normal relationship with people with less attachment, with less desire. I want you to be like that. I want you to behave. I want you, I want me to be happy. I want me to reach the shana. No. The more you practice, if you're in the right track, you're on the right track. The more you practice, the less self you have. The more you practice, the less suffering. Okay. Okay, and also after you meditate, to be mindful, right? The Here in Rahula Sutta, this is interesting. Meditate like the earth. Okay, now you can train to meditate like the earth. For when you meditate like the earth, pleasant and unpleasant contacts will not occupy your mind. Suppose there were to toss both clean and unclean things on the earth, like feces, urine, spit, pus, and blood. The earth isn't horrified, repelled, and disgusted because of this. In the same way, meditate like the earth, for when you meditate like the earth, pleasant and unpleasant contacts will not occupy your mind. Think of yourself as the earth. Whatever, like the feces, urine, spit, pus, and blood comes, you just no repel, not horrify, not disgust, with the pleasant and unpleasant contacts with you, equanimity. Meditate like water, just the same thing. Meditate like wind, meditate like space, meditate like earth, water, wind, whether pleasant or unpleasant contact comes, it will not occupy your mind. Meditate like space. Pleasant and unpleasant contact will not occupy your mind, just as space is not established anywhere. It's just space, vacant, free, things like that. Meditate on love. For when you meditate on love, any ill will be given up. Meditate on compassion. For when you meditate on compassion, any cruelty will be given up. Meditate on rejoicing. For when you meditate on rejoicing, any discontent will be given up. Meditate on equanimity. For when you meditate on equanimity, any repulsion will be given up. Meditate on ugliness. For when you meditate on ugliness, any lust will be given up. Meditate on impermanence. For when you meditate on impermanence, anicca, any conceit, I am, will be given up. So this is how to commit to the higher mind, to train to the higher mind, and to be mindful, as Tan asks. You can meditate on many aspects that the Buddha taught us to be mindful. Whether you see, smell, feel anything, equanimity. You can try to meditate on equanimity. Or when you see beautiful thing and maybe the lust arise, and then meditate on ugliness. Meditate on mindfulness to develop the to be mindful, things like that. Okay. Okay, so this is like the teachings of the Buddha, that even though it's kind of long one, but yeah, interesting, and is beneficial for you to like to contemplate on. Jim McCarty said today's teaching is really educational and interesting. I find that the teachings of Buddha is very entertaining in some way. Even the brief one like this teaching, Ovata Patimokkha, very brief one. But if we can elaborate it with many sutra, you know, Khanti Palamang Tapo Titikha, endurance is the ultimate, practice. You have to be you have when you want to follow the monastic, like if you want to follow like the path of you know the noble eightfold path, you need endurance. It's not easy to train the mind, right? It's not easy to get rid of defilements. So you need endurance, you need the grit, courage to overcome difficulties. You need that. I need that too. And nirvana is the ultimate, okay? The goal, the destination is nirvana, true liberation, to extinguish hate, greed, and delusion. How? Okay, don't injure another, don't hurt another, not do any evil, embrace the good, purify the mind, train the mind to be higher and higher. Just the same. Not speaking ill, not doing harm, restraint with the precepts for lay people, with the monastic code for monastic people. You gotta learn, moderation in eating, stay in remote lodging, not to be secluded physically, but secluded mentally. From what? From five hindrances, from any obstruction of the mind, from any defilements, things like that, and train, commitment to the higher mind. Train more and more, higher and higher. Don't compare yourself to another person. Compare with the previous self. Yeah, still the self, right? But compare to the last time. The last time not so good. Today's better, okay? Today's not so good, that's fine. Train more and more and more. The ultimate destination is nirvana. If you practice and if you follow the noble eightfold path, not sway, not to get distracted, not get distracted that much. Try, try to stay in the way. You're gonna reach nirvana sooner or later. Okay, that's it for today. Oh, I think we're gonna promote. As you can notice that last week I don't have the Dhamma talk here because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna do for the empty cloud bi-weekly, and for the Mahāvana Tutanka, the place that I stay here, bi-weekly as well. So today I'm doing it here, right? The Dhamma talk here. Next week I'm gonna do for the Mahāvana as the link that I attached. Yeah, and then swap. So here with the Buddhist insight and the empty cloud, you see each other every 15 days, maybe 2 weeks, yeah. And then please come and go to the Mahāvana Dhamma Sanctuary there. On the name, right? Mahāvana. What is that? Mahāvana Dhamma Sanctuary. Dhamma Sanctuary is for Facebook, and the Mahāvana Tutanka RT for the website, Thai and English, and Mahāvana Dhamma, I think for YouTube. I think I have YouTube as well. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think for YouTube. So please, next week, see you over there. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Sorry that I didn't mention. Thank you, Maria, and thank Andy, and thank you. Thank you, Roshan. Happy to make it to live. Thank you, Niranjan from Nepal, Buddha's birthplace. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Dharma Learner. Thank you, Jay Morgan. Thank you, Jimakari. Thank you very much. Before we my brain doesn't function well anymore. Before we finish, let's say Satu 3 times. Satu, 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 Anumodhami. May you all be safe and well, happy and healthy. May the power of the Triple Gem protect you all wherever you are. See you again next time. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye. Hi, Philos.